Hey guys, it's Sarah from Book Nerds and Fangirls, and the other day I did my best movies of 2019, and now today is like one of my favorite topics because I really love talking about horrible movies. So we're gonna go through my worst movies of 2019 list, and oh boy, is it probably going to be a controversial one. Actually, no, I don't think it'll be very controversial, honestly. I would like to put a disclaimer that just because I didn't like these movies doesn't mean you can't like these movies. I just personally didn't gel well with them, and it's totally fine. Fine. So, like I said in my best movies of 2019 list, not every movie that I watched this year was made in 2019. So I'm gonna do a quick dishonorable mentions for the movies that did not come in 2019 and tell you guys why I did not like them. So the first one I want to mention is The Nightingale. I know a lot of people loved this movie. I thought it was a cinematic piece of art. Now, with me, I did like the background story to this. The one reason why it's in one of my worst movies of the 2019 list, however, is the ending. I did not gel well with that ending. I think a lot of people who have watched Nightingale will actually get why I hated that ending. If not, put down that you want to know why I hated the Nightingale because I would like to talk to anyone in the comments about it. I don't really feel like going into a lot of spoiler territory for why I hated it. Let's just say is I really think the main character deserved a better ending than but I don't know. I guess it's not my movie, but I would definitely want her to, get a better ending, and that's why I put it down here. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. It was just, it had a horrible ending, and that brought down the movie so bad for me. It's a very hard movie to watch, also, I had to stop it a couple times to finish it. It took me like 3 hours to finish this movie, but shit happens. So coming in at number two is Possession of Hannah Grace. I actually watched this because it had Shay Mitchell in it, who is from Pretty Little Liars. She plays Emily, if for those of you who don't know. But this movie is just on my worst because it was boring, and there is nothing worse than making a boring horror movie that I literally just want to yawn through. Like, so super boring. I don't know why. I'm just so glad I didn't waste my money on this one. So coming number three is The Darkest Minds. This one makes me pissed off because I read the books for The Darkest Minds and the adaptation was just horrible. Horrible. It's like it sticked with the bare basics of the novel, and I'm talking about bare basics. Like it had a few things from the novel in there. They didn't change names or anything like that, but they did change major plot points. And for those people who actually have read The Darkest Minds, you know what it was modeled after, and to show the book even a little morsel of disrespect is actually making a lot of fans pissed off. And now I get why fans are pissed off. So, yeah, this was definitely a worse movie. So, coming to number four is The Perfection. I finally sat down and watched The Perfection, and my god, I hated it so much. It was just so super boring. I didn't really I get the revenge plot line. I was just like, eh. I've just seen it one too many times, and God, this is a weird fucking movie, just not for me. So, kind of number five is Deadly Detention. Now, this one is just because it's so bad, it's good. Good for me. I wouldn't say it's the worst movie out there. Well, the acting's pretty bad, yeah, but at least you can make fun of it. And I watched this on a one-off. Second number six is Knock Knock. Unfortunately, this is a Keanu Reeves movie. I really like Keanu Reeves as an actor. This just wasn't his best performance, and the two main chicks in this movie really pissed me the fuck off. I guess that's the point. It was just an awful movie, not his best. So good number seven, like honorable mention wise, is Every Day. Didn't really like this one, thought it was really boring. Like I said, nothing worse than a boring movie. movie. So, without further ado, guys, let's get into my actual worst movies of 2019. Now, this one is gonna be so super controversial. I can feel the dislikes on it already, but please, 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 let me explain before you guys tear me a new butthole about this. So coming in at number 6 is Frozen 2. Now I really, really, really struggled with putting this on this list, but I did this for one reason and one reason only. It wasn't as good as the original, and it shouldn't have been made in the first place. I feel like this was a very cash grab movie. There was a lot of things of storylines that I didn't care for in this one. Kristoff, who was a very strong male protagonist in the first movie, barely had anything to do in the second movie besides, a bare basic storyline about, I don't want to do spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it, but it's a very bare basic plotline, not to mention his song, Lost in the Woods, is one of the worst songs I've ever seen in a movie. Like, I watched this, and I swear to God, I don't cringe very often, but this scene was so, so, so cringy. I only liked a couple scenes in this movie. When Olaf was talking, recapping the first Frozen, that was hilarious. I'm not saying it's a horrible, horrible movie. I get that it's for kids. I get why people like it. It just wasn't for me, personally. Honestly, it also didn't help that I could see all the twists for it from a mile away, so it wasn't very thought-provoking or interesting for me. I get it. It's a movie for kids. It's not in my age bracket. It's got a few catchy earworm songs in it, like Into the Unknown, but still not as good as the first Frozen. I'm gonna at least give it like a C or D. And I'm just gonna say I think this movie is extremely overrated. Right, and I don't get why it's on everyone's favorite list. So coming in at number 5 is Captain Marvel. Now this one is more like a petty one for me. Honestly, I don't like it because there was one thing and one thing only that really, really, really super annoyed me about Captain Marvel. First off, how Nick Fury ended up losing his eye in the first place. That one, you could have made it so much better. Instead, you just made it a cutesy way about how he lost his eye, and I'm like, that's not badass. That's just, like, oh my god, he lost his eye that way? Really? You're gonna do Nick Fury like that? Ooh, ooh. Ooh, I just feel like Brie Larson did so much better with Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame. Honestly. And honestly, I got so super pissed off whenever they were just like, you gotta hide your emotions. You can't be so emotional. This bitch was not emotional once during this movie. I could not feel any single emotion off the actress whatsoever. It pissed me off royally. I'm a very emotional person. I know what emotions look like, and that was not emotional. I did not sense that she was an emotional person, nor did I sense that she actually gave a shit about anyone in this movie. So that's why it's on the worst movies. And speaking of really fucking trash movies that I fucking hated, and actually I don't think I put these in actual order because this probably would have been number 1, and that is Pet Sematary. Oh my fucking god. I hated this movie with a passion. A passion. Like I said, the one worst thing you could do in a movie is make it so super boring. It's a horror movie. It's supposed to be fascinating. It's supposed to be interesting. It just sucked royally. I didn't like the changes to it. I thought it could be new and intriguing, but it was just the same old basic shit. Shit is the original with a twist, and I'm just like, ugh. And there was like a few things that pissed me off about the movie, but I missed Shazam for this one, guys. I had to wait to see Shazam, and that was my own damn fault, so Pet Sematary, you're on the list. So coming in number 3 will actually be a very controversial one, of course, and that was Cher. This one is, of course, controversial. I didn't really care for this movie. I'm not gonna say it's like outright horrible. horrible for this one, but it took a very important message and just didn't really hit the mark of this one. And the worst thing you could do for movies that are supposed to project a very important message is, you know, make it dull and boring to the fact where no one wants to watch it. I sat through, I watched it. I get that, you know, shit like this happens all the time. All the time. I was just sorely disappointed with the message, especially because it does involve sexual assault, which is a super, super important message to get out there and inform people about, and how this could affect people, and I never really got the message for this one. This one, if anything, this is more, I think, kind of like the denial stage of going through it, but like, there are just so many movies that do this better. I would just skip this one, honestly. So kind of number 2 is In the Tall Grass. Now this one is super freaking weird. And I mean weird and not in a good way. I feel like I was on LSD throughout this whole movie when I've never taken LSD in my life and would not know what that felt like. And my god, was it just so super boring. Like I said, horror movie writers, stop making shit boring. I know it's very hard to come up with new, innovative ideas about horror movies, but this one was just not my thing. So finally, my last movie of 2019 that I absolutely hated was After. Now, I know I'm gonna get a lot of dislikes for this one. I'm not a huge fan of the book. Well, I've never read the book. I've never read the fan fiction for it, or Wattpad story, I should say for it. This was a Harry Styles fanfiction, I believe, and while I was watching this movie, all my mind was doing was like, red flag, red flag, this is not a good guy. Why are people crushing on this guy? It was just a lot of my mind throwing red flags on the screen, like, ugh. It's not Christian Grey level of gray red flags, but it's definitely close to that. I didn't really like the acting in this one. I think Josephine Langford was the only person in this movie that I actually liked watching on the screen. But my god, this movie made me cringe a lot, and this boy, like, he has a lot of anger issues, and I'm just like, I get people have anger issues, but why? Why? He's not like the worst character that I've seen in 2019. We'll get to that list, but he's definitely a piece of work, let me tell you that. So there you guys have it. That was my list of the worst movies of 2019. What was one movie that really pissed you off and you disliked it so much that you hated it in 2019? Comment down below and let me know, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!